the big masters of Instagram and Facebook, that's now under the Meta umbrella. YouTube, which is under the Google umbrella. We have Twitter, technically X, which I feel like has lost a bit of popularity during that transitional period. And then TikTok, which has gained so much traction over the last 4 years, especially acting like a community base for literally everybody in the world, because we all got shut down with a viral pandemic. So utilizing these big spaces and kind of leads into the topic of like self-promotion. Fan base here, obviously, and I love the honesty, LFX Media. I am 100% on board with being completely honest and transparent and realistic regarding, functionalities and things that are happening on the platform. So utilizing big spaces like that, you have to lean into self-promotion the same way that you would promote like a Patreon page, for example. You have to share your fan base link if you're trying to monetize immediately, right? The big difference, like one of the major differences that the platform has that other platforms don't, is the fact that you can monetize fairly immediately. Now, I understand that like certain platforms have thresholds as incentives, and I actually feel like that's a model that works really well. However, if you're just starting out, or if you're well developed in one area, and you're trying to branch into a new identity or a brand identity, there is kind of a big power here that you can hone in when you're starting to post. And you see that when people love your stuff or interact with your stuff, you get monetization right away. Now, something to kind of consider is the type of ways that you guys can monetize, right? We talked about the different verticals on the platform, but have you, evaluated like what type of content can I produce and is it going to be in alignment with like a subscription model? So, for people who teach, I think subscription models are great. Like if you have courses or industry insights, LFX, you have 20 years plus of media experience that you can, I can almost guarantee you have a plethora of courses that you can, release for a subscription. So it's like identifying whether or not your content will fall under that model, because we have subscriptions which you can set your pricing to. But then you have the most popular, revenue driver, which is loves. Speaking of, thank you so much for giving me some love here. And in return, I'm going to give you guys some loves here. And I know that it's a low number. One love is like a cent or half a cent. But the fact that you get to be able to tap into it right away is pretty great, and something that we want to really push and utilize. So now that we've sort of gone over, utilizing a different variety of content, strategy, analytics, hyping up engagement, the second part of this I want to talk about is the fact that we are launching 2 campaigns this week. And this is something I talked to you guys about last week. So the first campaign that we launched is the mental health awareness campaign. So for a lot of you who are on the app, you're going to be seeing a lot of pop-ups talking about mental health awareness, the challenge card, how to complete it, how to participate. I'm going to give you guys the rundown really quick. So we launched this campaign on Monday, and you have 2 full weeks to participate. The way to participate is to go onto either our social media, our Instagram, to look at the challenge card, or get the challenge card from the app in itself. There are different prompts. There's about 15 prompts, and you just have to contribute to our, content creator hub. So for example, you have, let's say, a stretch and share challenge. This is a Flicks challenge only, so we're really looking for people to be submitting Flicks or Reels. And if you have like a stretch and share challenge, that's like, show us a yoga routine or a yoga pose that you learned that helps you, or in the morning when you are just getting ready for the day, like do you stretch, or do you help your body kind of start the day too. The big initiative for these like challenges, really they're just like but the big goal here is to not only promote acts of self-care, acts of wellness, like health wellness, but also to kind of share within our fan base community, like what are people doing? What are people doing for themselves, for others? I think it's a great thing to participate in, and you end up winning. If you're chosen, you end up winning $50 straight to your fan base wallet. So, I think that's pretty cool. A cool prize to win just for participating. We have that's launched, and you can get the details on our Instagram. And the second one, which I'm very excited about, is the Creator Appreciation Movement. We are very aware of everything that's happening with our social media platforms, and especially with TikTok. We know that there's a lot of kind of fear regarding content and the future of content creation on that platform. So many people have built their entire brand and following on that platform. So it's very scary to have, that become like non-existent possibly. So what we're doing, we're trying to create a safe haven for people and to encourage people to have a backup and to kind of load their content onto Fanbase. We are, for the next 2 months, starting this evening, starting tonight, every single creator on the platform is going to be receiving 100% of their revenue that they generate for the next 2 months. Little caveat, obviously app and store fees are a thing. We have to pay them out. So they are going to be automatically removed from the wallet and given straight to Apple and to Google. But otherwise, normally our rev share is a 50-50 split where Fanbase, you creators would get 50%, and then Apple and Google would take their share, and what's left over Fanbase would take. For the next 2 months, though, we are only paying out the store fees. Everything else you guys get to take home. So I really encourage you to participate in the Mental Health Awareness Challenge. I encourage you guys to continue putting out content, because all of that money that you will be able to generate for the next 2 months, it's 100% yours. So that's very exciting. And then Butterfly, thank you so much for coming up. I would love to hear, I'm assuming you wanted to come up and chat a little bit regarding what we were talking about. I'd love to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, you had mentioned something, so I thought that maybe I should mention something. You guys were talking about tools, you're talking about Canva and so forth.
Yeah.
So I thought that I should mention something that I was working on Fanbase, but the conversation had kind of segued, so I don't want to, go backwards. So.
Oh, well, no such thing as going back. I mean, we have 20 minutes. I just wanted to give a little bit of a shout out to what we have going on the platform. But I would love to, obviously, I know only as much as I know, so I would love to hear your insight in terms of tools and, resources to help, make movement in the content creation space. Definitely all ears.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, no problem. So you were mentioning, as I was coming into the room, you were mentioning and talking about Canva, and you were talking about, what you're able to do, with the tool and so forth. And I love Canva. I always say Canva is that girl.
Absolutely.
Canva is incredible. It's such a important tool for a creator, or for anyone that is doing things that has to be represented in a presentable way. So, one thing that I admire about Canva is that they really jumped on AI. So they have a lot of AI tools. You can create entire presentations, from a prompt that you can then go back and edit. their AI design tools. I mean, I've even used Canva to replace clothing on a client that, obviously we can't do unlimited amount of photo shoots. There's other software, but Canva actually did a great job, with it at the time that I used it. So, there's bulk creation tools that you can use, with Canva, and they're getting ready to drop, new tools. So I just thought I would mention that. But the primary reason why I came up here is because in the Fanbase Collective, right, our current project is that we're working on an ebook, and now we're in accountability section. So we've done 4 classes. I'm actually going to drop a link in the chat, and this is a Notion document, and basically these are all the tools that we went over, as well as a checklist for the ebook accountability. The reason why I brought it up is because one of the things we learned was Canva. Okay, so why did we learn Canva for ebook accountability? To be able to do book covers, as well as to be able to use the ebook templates, as well as to learn a few other tools, but also learning Notion, learning MailChimp to create landing pages, learning Amazon KDP, learning Gumroad, learning the different chat bots. Actually went over it with someone today, as far as writing and how each chat bot may present differently, such as Gemini, Claude, ChatGPT, which actually dropped a new version today, ChatG 4.0 or 4, I think it's 4.0. I think that's what they're trying to call it. So anyway, so I just dropped that because even though we're doing an ebook, really the tools that you can learn in this particular accountability that we're doing is in all aspects of content creation. So I thought I would share that. So if anybody is interested, let me know. This is free. There's no charge or anything of that nature. I am doing remedial classes since we've already did the 4 classes, and now we're in accountability. So I thought I would just come up and just share a resource where people can actually learn some of these tools that you're talking about today.
Thank you so much for that, Butterfly. Also, you guys check out the checklist that Butterfly provided. It's super robust with a bunch of different systems and tools. I love that you mentioned Gemini and Claude. I feel like a lot of people sort of focus in on ChatGPT, and while ChatGPT is great and has a lot of functionalities, I feel like to be able to diversify a lot of your captioning, messaging, tone, etc., but you don't want to spend, hours and hours writing different things for different projects, utilizing Gemini or Claude is going to be super, super helpful. I can tell you I utilize ChatGPT and Google Gemini on a weekly basis when it comes to like episode planning, different type of captioning, even a general approach, because email marketing is still a thing and actually does work fairly well, but kind of helping standardize a lot of those templates and that copy that people would use or I would use in an email marketing campaign. A lot of the baseline structure does come from an AI assistant. So it's sort of it gives you some insight as to how AI can be used for your benefit and can be used as a powerful tool and resource. I definitely don't recommend just copying and pasting. I feel like there's an aspect of personalization that you should always use and always include. So what I do with my with the output that I receive is I take it as a bare bones kind of skeleton outline, and then I zhuzh it up with my own verbiage that I like to use, the tone of voice that I like to use. So remember to make it as authentic to you as possible. These tools are here to help make things work better, faster, more efficiently. But at the end of the day, you don't want to lose your own tone. You don't want to lose your voice, right?
Yeah, and I would like to add, ladies, that, I know this is overwhelming. I'm not, as well skilled and well versed on ChatGPT and all these wonderful things, but I would like to let you guys know that every day that you start, every day you post, every day you do things is important too. Sometimes we can get overwhelmed with all the new things, and I just want to let you know that you guys are, just remember to take it slow and start off where you can. because sometimes we tend to jump into things and it's overwhelming. So just remember, long as you're posting, long as you're trying different things, just take it slow.
Yes, and on top of that, I kind of wanted to, since we were talking about tools, I wanted to reiterate the usefulness of scheduling tools. And I know that, again, batch creation is not for everyone, and that is totally okay. But I do believe that if you are able to sort of standardize the way that you approach outputting your content, you would be a lot happier for it and less stress, and would encounter less stress. So for some of you, for the majority of you who, maybe don't have anything right now to invest into your own brand, there are free scheduling tools that you can use. Later.com or Hootsuite, even Buffer, and they offer you a free ability to connect your social media accounts, integrate with them, and then schedule out posts however much in advance. So if I was you and I was wanting to make sure all of my stuff was posted consistently, I definitely would utilize one of these free options. And actually, I've for my own business and also for clients that I worked with in the past, I have utilized Later.com on in the most cost effective way, because I started free for a very long time until I was able to justify the cost of adding more platforms onto it. But yeah, I would say kind of check out the technology and the resources that you have around you to help streamline the way that you're approaching producing content, because it can get overwhelming, as Queen Mo has mentioned, and it could be very easy to get burnt out if you're not finding ways to make life easier for you. So
I want to, since you're talking about scheduling, I do want to add just a few things to that. There are several options. You can also schedule within the business suite for Facebook and Instagram. So if you're only posting on Facebook and Instagram, Twitter also has its own scheduler. So just FYI, if anybody is curious about that, and I'm thinking about Twitter too. If anybody's interested in a really cool prompt, that you can put into ChatGPT or Gemini, if you're really interested in a really cool prompt for Twitter content based on a topic and based on notes, using the AIDA framework, which is like action, inspiration, decision, and then activity, like a call to action or one of those. Inbox me and I'll send it to you. It's pretty cool. I used it today. Also, my favorite scheduling tool is Metricool, and the reason why, I think that Hootsuite now has it, but I think Metricool is very cost effective. But one of the things that I really like that Metricool did first, I'm not sure if Hootsuite. Sorry, my phone was sorry. But Metricool has a heat map to let you know when is the best time for you to post. Based on your audience. So it will show you okay, between 4 to 6, 9, this is when 90% of your audience is actually on the app. And then also within Canva's scheduling tool is not that robust. It has a lot of limitations, but it does also allow you to schedule. You can also schedule right from Canva. And then I also wanted to mention, since we were talking about this, there's tools too, like if you need to repurpose content. For instance, there's a tool called Opus Pro, and I use that religiously, as well, because what it does, it allows you to clip your own videos or YouTube videos, and it then will put captions on it, but it will also give it a score that will tell you okay, this is the reason why we think this is one of the best clips, as opposed to one that's in a lower score, based on the level and engagement that they think that you're going to get. And one of the things that's cool about it, you can also post directly to your social media, right from that clipper. So I'm going to drop that link in the chat for Opus Pro if anybody is interested in that.
Thank you so much. That is an abundance of resources that you just dropped.
Conversation. This is, I want to preface, you know what I'm saying? I want to preface this too. You know what I'm saying? Use the information, but, use what you can. Use what's valuable to you. But remember, it's all still up to you, and it can get overwhelming. Jamming all the information in, being fast-paced is not just calm. It's okay, guys. I want you guys to understand. Be you without limits.
Thank you for that, Queen. I appreciate the kind of like grounding sentiment there. And also, Butterfly, you literally came through with so many resources. So big round of applause, big thank you. If you guys can give Butterfly some love, I would definitely appreciate it. Definitely deserve that.
Can I add on? Can I add?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead,
Butterfly
please.
said. I absolutely love Canva as well, and I don't call her a she because it's a man and a woman. Shout out to Melanie, Cam, and Cliff who created Canva. But the podcast 101 that I was talking about was something that we did in the fan base collective, which I'm a moderator on there. That's Butterfly's camp. But as a podcaster, when you go in and use Canva, there's an audio and there's a video. So some of the templates, I don't know if y'all ever pay attention to content when you see like a short or nothing. It's not really video. It's a picture, and you see like the volume moving back and forth like a person is talking. It's actually a template on Canvas that you can use with your picture and put it on your podcast as a video running in, and you'll see the person's picture, and you'll see the lines moving underneath it like they're talking, but it's a constant video. And that's one form that you could use it. But, Canva is great. But there was also a question down in the chat, and they were asking how to look at the analytics. I think it was Kevin. I think he's still here. How do I review my fan base analytics? And
yes, yeah. If you would like to, the way that we don't have as robust of an analytics platform as some of the other social media platforms do, but the way that you're able to review your analytics is mainly through your wallet. If you go to your Fanbase wallet, you're going to be able to see the revenue related analytics, which is what we have available right now.
And that's all you need to know. Your revenue, it shows you the interactions too, right?
It sure does. It shows your interactions. It goes so far as to show you the username of the people who have given you monetary love or subscriptions. So you are able to access all of that, which is pretty useful information in case you ever want to do a giveaway or some kind of appreciation for your following. That all of that information is accessible to you. But thank you so much, LFX, for reminding me. I know the chat can get kind of yes, for anyone who is new to the platform, you are able to access your analytics through your profile by clicking on your Fanbase wallet, and there will be an analytics section right below the dollar amount, and you can kind of go into depth regarding how your stuff is performing monetarily. So now that we're coming up close to the end of our audio room this episode, it was definitely a very informational episode, very resource packed. So thank you guys for contributing to all of that. A small recap is we kind of explored crafting engaging content and how to optimize your social media presence and the tools and resources that you guys can utilize to help streamline your efforts. So just a quick recap, Butterfly did link a very robust link to different tools and technologies that are commonly used in the space. Definitely check it out. It's free to access. Also, we talked a little bit about the different creation tools like Canva and scheduling tools. While I do like using third-party schedulers because it allows me to schedule in advance, Meta does have its own business suite, which you can schedule both for Facebook and Instagram. Twitter X has its own scheduler as well, as Butterfly mentioned, and any of the other platforms that we talked about can loop in your external social media, like TikTok, for example, to kind of have you guys post and schedule things out in advance. I think that was kind of majority of what we talked about. And then just a reminder that we did launch our mental health awareness campaign this week, as well as the creator appreciation campaign that is going live tonight. So for the next 2 months, you will be able to take 100% of your revenue home. So definitely encourage you guys to keep posting, spread the word, use self-promotion across your other social media platforms to really maximize on these 2 campaigns that we have launched. And small reminder, content creation and becoming, an active member in the space is definitely a journey. It's not the end-all destination. Everything's going to be moving up and down, just as life does. So stay connected. And if you have any questions that you guys feel like come up later, please feel free to DM me or come ready to talk next episode. We host this every Wednesday at 3 p.m. EST, and this is specifically geared for the general content creator. So last episode we talked about brand identity and building an audience. This episode we talked about tools and engagement. So, stick around if you guys like the direction that this audio room is taking. But also, this is a team effort. I would really love to kind of make this experience cater to what you guys want to hear about and talk about. So come with your ideas and we will, I'll definitely incorporate that into our next episode. But until then, thank you so much for your time. Thank you, Queen, LFX, and Butterfly. And I will be talking to you guys next week. Thank you so much. I'm about to end this. Have a good one.